This video will cover all of the stat cards that you'll be using to perform a variety of actions. Most of the benefits you'll receive from these cards are only when you place them in a weapon slot for attacking or dodging. You receive the benefit regardless of whether it's an attack or a dodge. So unless I say otherwise, when I talk about these cards, assume I'm using them in a weapon slot and not for some other purpose like interacting or moving. Also remember, unless stated otherwise, all of these cards give you their benefit immediately when placed. So if used during your attack step, you'll gain the benefit before you even see the enemy's attack. If used during your dodge step, you'll gain the benefit before you and your enemy's attack resolve in step 4. Okay, let's jump into the basics. The 4 basic cards are Dodge, Draw 1, +1 damage, and Stagger. Draw 1 is simple. It allows you to draw an additional card when you place it into your weapon slot. +1 damage just increases the damage of that attack when placed in your weapon slot. Dodge allows you to dodge. Remember though, you can use this as an attack card, or you can use it as a dodge card. Either way, you will gain the benefit of clearing this slot. And Stagger. Stagger adds the stagger effect to your attack. Now we haven't talked about Stagger yet, so let's do a quick demonstration of Stagger before we continue, because that will be really important with some of our upgrade cards. When you declare your attack in step 1, and you use a Stagger card, that attack gains Stagger. If in step 2, the enemy's attack is slower than yours, then their attack will be cancelled when the attacks resolve in step 4. And with it, any effects that have not resolved yet on that attack will also be cancelled. In this case, we place a Stagger card on Slash, and the beast draws a special attack card. The beast's pin and gnaw attack is cancelled, and we take no damage from it, because our attack is faster than the special attack. We also do not suffer stun. Had we decided to play this card on Heavy Card, then the special attack and our attack would be equal speed, and therefore Stagger would not trigger. That means we would take 4 damage and still suffer stun. So remember, unlike dodge cards, which can be played on equal or faster speeds, Stagger cards only work on faster speeds. Now that that's out of the way, let's get going through the upgrade cards. First set is Endurance, the set with a blood droplet in the upper left corner. Endurance is all about dodging, so these 5 upgrades will all contain the dodge keyword. Remember though, you don't have to use these to dodge. They can be used to attack too. Let's look at them now. First up is Dash. Dash performs like a normal dodge card when used in a weapon slot. So if you're attacking or dodging with this card, nothing is changed from the basic card. However, when you discard this card from your hand to make a move action, you can move 3 spaces instead of 2. This is great for exploring and kiting enemies by exploiting their pursuit rules, a topic for another video. Invigorating can be used as an attack or dodge card. Regardless of how it's used, it will heal you 1 as soon as it is placed in the slot. Also, it can clear any slot of your weapon. You have to choose which slot to clear before moving on to the next step. So for example, let's attack the beast with Slash using Invigorating. We instantly heal 1 before anything else happens, and we can clear this or any other slot. Now, we don't know what the beast is going to do. We see he has a very fast attack there, so to be safe, I'm going to clear Quick Cut. Now, we can easily dodge any attack that the beast throws at us. Well, unless he does this one that can't be dodged. Things play out like normal from here. We reveal the beast's attack, it's a basic, and we can go ahead and dodge like normal. Keep in mind that had we had another Invigorating card, we could have used it to dodge and gained another health here. Next is Tactical. When you place this card in a slot, that slot gains a +1 speed bonus for either attacking or dodging, depending on when you place the card. You also gain the benefit of clearing this slot. So if you were to attack with this card on Quick Cut, your attack would be faster than the Scourge Beast's basic swipe attack. Let's do that now. I'm going to place the card to attack. Now I'm attacking at 4 speed instead of 3. I'm going to clear this slot and discard it. Now the beast draws a card. It's a basic attack. Well, I know my attack is going to land first, so I'm not even going to bother to dodge. Let's resolve. 4 attack, happens first, deals 1 damage, the beast is dead. On the other hand, if you place this during step 3, your chance to dodge, you'll dodge at a faster speed. Maybe you already attacked with Quick Cut, and the beast attacks with its basic. You can use this card to dodge with Slash. Just like before, the dodge card clears as soon as you place that card. But Slash dodge is now +3 speed. Resolve the attacks. They happen simultaneously, but I dodged it, so I take no damage. He takes 1 damage. He's dead. Next up is Quick Change. This can be used for attacking or dodging, but unlike the previous cards, it will not clear immediately. It will allow you to transform your weapon after you attack or dodge. Let's demonstrate both situations. First, I'll attack with Slash using a Stagger card. The enemy draws a basic attack, so I need to dodge. I'll go ahead and dodge with Quick Change. Here's how everything will resolve in step 4. First, the enemy attack happens first because it's faster. However, I dodged it, so I take no damage. Now is my option if I want to transform my weapon. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Next, my attack resolves at speed 2 and deals 2 damage. Transforming my weapon did not cancel my attack. My attack will still happen. Remember, it's a 2-speed attack that deals 2 damage with Stagger. But wait, my attack has Stagger, and now that I'm on this side of the weapon, I gain a bonus. Attacks with Stagger also deal +1 damage. So I actually deal 3 damage to the enemy here. This works because the weapon was transformed before the attack resolved, and this particular bonus on the weapon does not happen on attack or when you declare your card. It's just there. So whenever the attack resolves, if you're on this side of the weapon, you get the bonus. Neat. Now let's demonstrate an attack. First, I'll attack with Slash using Quick Change. The enemy draws a basic attack, so I dodge with Quick Cut. Now let's resolve in step 4. The enemy's attack resolves first, but again, I dodge it. That should be cleared, by the way. Now, my attack resolves and deals 2 damage. Now is my chance to transform my weapon, which I'll go ahead and do that now. And that's it. This subtle difference won't matter in many situations, but it's important to keep an eye out for tricks like this. Depending on whether it is played as an attack or a dodge card, will change when exactly during step 4 your weapon transforms. And although you can never use this card to transform your weapon and dodge on the other side of your weapon, because by the time things are resolving, step 3 is already passed, it could change the effect based on what side of your weapon triggers when your attack resolves. Last up is Counter Strike. This is another dodge card that does not clear. Again, you could play it as an attack or dodge card, But to gain its benefit, you need to use it as a dodge card. This card deals 2 damage after you dodge. So, if we attack with Slash, the enemy draws a basic attack, and we dodge with Quick Cut. This is how it would resolve in step 4. Attack with Slash, enemy draws a basic, and we dodge with Counter Strike and Quick Cut. First, the enemy attack would resolve first. It deals 2 damage, but we dodged it. After dodging, we will now deal 2 damage. Now, our attack resolves next. It's a medium attack, so it goes second. We'll deal 2 damage, and that's enough to kill the beast. Let me show you a situation where it's important to remember that these 2 events, dodging and attacking, are separate when they resolve in step 4. Let me show you a situation where it's important to remember that these 2 events, dodging and attacking, are separate. Let's imagine our cleric beast here has 2 health remaining on phase 1. If we treat all of this damage as happening at the same time, the cleric beast will take 4 damage. So let's do that. First, we attack with Slash. The cleric beast draws a fast attack at 3 speed. I'm not going to show you an attack for spoiler reasons. And then we play Counter Strike to dodge that attack. If we assume this is all resolving at the same time, he'll do the damage. We'll deal 2 damage from the Counter Strike and 2 damage from our attack. That's 4 damage. Oh, well, 4 damage. That deals, well, he's at 12 now, but that's the overflow, just flips him over, and there's no additional damage, right? Wrong. These are 2 separate events, which means when we dodge his quick attack with Counter Strike, we'll deal 2 damage. That 2 damage is enough to kill him, or phase 1 him, into the next phase. Now, our attack resolves separately, and it will deal 2 damage, and we've already done 2 damage on the second phase. This happens quite frequently with a lot of insight missions, where there is an insight token placed on a card, and reducing the enemy to 0 health will heal that enemy completely and remove the token. You'll see this a lot. This works the same as a phase for a boss, where any additional damage past their normal health will not carry over. But if you're smart about it and do something like this, you can remove that token with a dodge from Counter Strike, and then still do your damage to the next part of their health bar. Okay, on to the next set of cards, Skill. These are the cards with the hand in the upper left corner. These cards all focus on Stagger. First up is Agile. This works exactly like a basic Stagger, but it also increases your speed. So a 3-speed attack like Quick Cut could stagger a Scourge Beast basic if you used Agile. Your attack would be at 4 speed, and as such be fast enough to stagger the 3-speed basic attack from the Scourge Beast. Visceral is also an easy card to understand. It adds stagger and does +1 damage. This is an excellent choice for the Saw Cleaver, as the one side of this weapon will gain +2 damage from this card. Unyielding is another simple card. It's exactly like basic Stagger, except you get the added bonus of drawing a card when you attack with it. Just a reminder, you draw this card as soon as you place Unyielding in your weapon slot. Next we have Adaptive. This card can be used as an attack or dodge card. You will only get the benefit of Stagger if you use it as an attack though. A card used to dodge will not alter your attack in any way. So if you play this as an attack, your attack gains Stagger, and your slot is cleared instantly. If you play this as a dodge, it functions exactly like a basic dodge card. Finally, there's Cheap Shot. Cheap Shot can function one of two ways. First, it will work like a basic Stagger card if placed in your weapon slot. There's no added benefit to this card when placed in your slot compared to the basic Stagger card. The bonus for this card is if it is in your hand when an enemy plays an ability. Let's say the Scourge Beast is going to activate to us at the end of our turn, and we're not going to bother attacking this time. So step 1, we're going to skip that. Step 2, we're going to draw the Scourge Beast card. It's an ability. Now, if we have one of these in our hand, we can discard it and deal 2 damage to the Scourge Beast. There's no retaliation for this. It is basically free damage. So I'll discard it and deal 2 damage. If you kill the enemy with this, it will most likely cancel their ability. In this case, their ability, Visceral, has a speed of 1, so our Cheap Shot will definitely take effect before their ability triggers, which means we could kill them. If you are lucky and you have 2 of these, you could play 2 at the same time and deal 4 damage. Cheap Shot indeed. Let's move on to strength cards. These will focus on increasing your attacks. They're the cards with the muscle arm in the upper corner. First up is Swift. This is exactly the same as the basic +1 damage card, but with the added benefit of making your attack faster. Nothing really to explain here. Rallying deals +1 damage with your attack and heals you too after your attack resolves. This is different from Invigorating. If you remember, that card healed you as soon as it was placed in your weapon slot. The card must connect with the enemy to heal you. That means if the attack is staggered or your enemy moves, which sometimes happens thanks to enemy abilities, then your attack fails and so does the heal. In other words, you can't be healed after an attack that never happened. Let's play Rallying in Quick Cut. Next, the beast draws a card, and it happens to be a basic. So now I'm just going to decide not to dodge in this case. No dodging. Let's go ahead and resolve this. Both attacks happen at the same speed, meaning they happen simultaneously. We deal 2 damage, +1, and they deal 2 damage to us. Now that our attack is resolved, after attack, we heal damage. We essentially were able to avoid using a dodge card just by taking that hit, knowing that we would heal afterwards. But let's do this again. What if you're at 2 HP when you try this? Well, I'm going to play the attack on Quick Cut. The beast is going to draw a basic. I'm going to choose not to, or maybe I don't have any dodge cards in my hand, so I'm not going to play anything. Let's resolve. These attacks happen simultaneously, so we deal 2 damage to the beast deals 2 damage to us. Would you look at that? We're dead before we have a chance to heal. So unfortunately you can't use this to tank a hit if you're too close to death. While we're at it, right now let's look at this one too. On kill, draw 1 and heal 1. I'll go over this more when we talk about the weapon skills, but if the beast would also die, and we die at the same time, the on kill would also trigger after we're already dead. So unfortunately, these kind of healing abilities would not allow us to avoid death. Just a reminder though, there is one that happens when you place the card. If you used Invigorating, you would heal 1 when the card was placed, not after your attack. This would maybe prevent you from dying, depending on the amount of damage. On to Bloodthirsty. It gives you a +1 damage, but also allows you to draw 1 and heal 1 if you kill the enemy. This will stay in effect until the end of step 4 of combat. That means anything you do that kills the enemy before the end of combat will trigger this card. However, after combat ends, this card will not remain in effect. Let's demonstrate against a Huntsman minion this time. You play Bloodthirsty on your slash attack, and the minion draws a basic attack. You have a chance to draw, so you play Counter-Strike on your quick cut. Let's go ahead and resolve this. First, your attack is faster, so you would deal 3 damage to the Huntsman minion. Next, his attack would resolve at slow speed, but you dodged it successfully, so you take no damage. Now, after dodging, you'll deal 2 damage to the Huntsman minion. That's enough to kill him. Because it was during this combat phase, you've now triggered on a kill, draw 1, heal 1. Which it looks like I was already dead from my last example, but let's just pretend. Draw 1, heal 1. Now I've healed 1 from my card and 1 from my ability. And I also now have 2 new cards in my hand from Bloodthirsty and from my weapon skill. Keep in mind, though, that Bloodthirsty is only in effect during one combat phase. So, if I were to play this with a basic dodge, and I didn't get the kill this time, I just did 3 damage. But then, using some other hunter tool or some consumable, I deal 2 more damage to him on my turn and kill him. Well, I would still trigger my skill on my weapon, however, this one is now no longer in effect. Poised adds damage, but also makes you immune to stagger or stun. Stun, in case you didn't read the rulebook, will deal 1 damage to us unless we discard a card from our hand. This card will prevent both from happening to us if played in an attack slot. So let's play this in our quick cut slot. The beast draws a special attack this time. We cannot dodge this attack because we don't have any dodge cards. So we're going to skip step 3 and move on to step 4 and see how this resolves. Well, our attack would resolve first at 3 speed and deal 2 damage. Pin and Gnaw would resolve next. However, even though we have no cards in our hand, we do not have to discard because of stun, because we are currently immune to stun right now. We still would take 4 damage here. Let's demonstrate again with the Huntsman minion. We place Poise on slash. The Huntsman minion draws a special attack. Oh no, special attack. It has 3 speed with stagger. Well, we're out of cards, so we can't dodge it, so we're just going to tank that hit. Let me throw some more health here that I forgot to return from the last example. So we're just going to tank that hit, and let's see how it resolves. This one happens first, which does 2 damage to us, and it staggers us. But it doesn't because we are immune to stagger. So nothing changes, we deal 3 damage to the minion. Finally, we have Leaping. This unique card lets you move before you attack. Now normally, you have to be in the same space as an enemy to initiate an attack, but Leaping allows you to start an attack while you are up to 2 spaces away. Everything else in combat happens exactly the same, so sorry, no surprise attacks, no backstabs. So there are 2 uses for this card. Here, the beast is 2 spaces away from me. I don't want to burn another card to move to him. Maybe I only have 2 cards left and I want to have 1 card to attack and 1 card to dodge. Well, I can use this card, Leaping, to make a move action before my attack. I move twice, and then everything resolves as normal. We'll go ahead to step 2, show an attack from the enemy. Step 3, chance to dodge. Step 4, resolve. Everything else is normal from this point on. But now I'm going to show you a tricky way to use this to avoid damage. Let's say you end your turn with this Huntsman minion on your space. The minion activates and attacks you. You don't have any dodge cards. You can choose to use this card to attack and move away. Now it's a move action, so he will pursue you one space. But now you're in completely separate spaces. Even though combat will proceed as normal, and he'll draw his attack, you have your chance to dodge, which you don't have anything. Now, when it's time to resolve your attacks, your attack resolves first, but there's no longer an enemy in your space. You deal 0 damage. His attack resolves second. You are not in his space. He deals 0 damage. I'd just like to note that while this specific use of the card hasn't technically been confirmed by the designer, the fact that you can use it to move away from an enemy and miss your target has been confirmed. Michael Chenal, I believe is his name, said over on BGG that this is a legal move. You can move away and miss your target, but you would never want to. Well, this is just one very specific example of when you might want to move away in order to physically dodge an attack. Last, we have the Vitality cards. These are cards that focus on drawing cards and defensiveness. Second Wind gives you no benefit when used as an attack card, but if you use this card for anything outside of combat, you get to heal 2. That means if you use this card to move, transform your weapon, or interact, you'll heal 2. Technically, it also heals you on your way to the Hunter's Dream, but that's kind of pointless anyway. Rapid can be used to attack or dodge. Its benefit is gained in both of these situations. This is the only way you can draw a card when you dodge. And of course, this card clears the slot too, whether you use it for an attack or a dodge. Let's place a draw card in Slash. We'll draw 1 card immediately. Now let's reveal the enemy card. It's another basic. And then we can decide to dodge with Rapid. We're going to draw a card and clear this slot. Everything now resolves normally. The beast attacks first, but we dodged, so we take no damage. And then we deal 2 damage. Now keep in mind, we just did an attack and dodged with a net loss of 0 because we were able to draw 2 cards after spending 2 cards. That's the advantage of Rapid here. Tireless has 2 effects when used to attack. First, instead of drawing 1 card, you draw 2. But you must also discard 1. Keep in mind that you don't have to discard the card that you just drew. So, if you have a basic dodge card in your hand when you attack with Tireless, you can draw 2 cards, and your 2 cards end up being something better like Rapid. You can decide to discard this card. There's no rule preventing you from doing that. So now I got 2 better cards instead of that dodge. The other half of this card heals you of 1 poison or 1 frenzy token. Like usual, this only works when you use Tireless to attack, not when you discard it to do another action. Indomitable gives you 2 perks. When you attack, you draw 1 and cannot suffer Frenzy, Poison, Stagger, or Stun. In that way, it's a bit like Poised in that it prevents Stagger or Stun, but this card also works for Frenzy and Poison. I'm not going to demonstrate this card because it works exactly the same as Poised. If you need a refresher, jump back to that card and replace Stagger or Stun with Frenzy, Poison, Stagger, or Stun. Finally, we have Defensive. This card lets you block 2 damage. One important thing to note here is that, just like other cards, it takes effect when placed in a slot. That means even if your attack happens after the enemy, you will still block it. For that reason, this is an excellent card for slower weapons and attacks. So I'm going to decide to attack this Scourge Beast with defensive in the heavy carve slot. Next, the beast draws a basic attack. Now, I don't have anything else to dodge, so I'm just not going to. Let's resolve these attacks. Quick Swipe is definitely faster, so it will happen first, and I'll take 2 damage. Except, no I won't. I'll block 2 damage, because that's already in effect. Now that I've blocked the damage, my attack resolves next, and I'll deal 3 damage to the Scourge Beast. There you have it. That's a rundown of all of the stat cards and how to use each one. I do know that some of these rules may not feel right if you've only read the rulebook, because there's been a lot of discussion over on BGG, and as I mentioned, one of the designers has actually weighed in on a lot of these questions brought up there. So many of the things here may seem off, but are most likely confirmed in the forums. But if I got anything wrong, please tell me down below. Thanks for watching, and may the good blood guide your way.